Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss about gravitation. Okay. So this chapter is important. Two questions they will ask you from this, from the NEET as well as JEE mains exam. Okay. So the question number 1 is, the largest and the shortest distance of Earth from the Sun are R1 and R2. The distance from the Sun when it is at a perpendicular to the major axis of the orbit drawn from the Sun. Okay. So we know that the planets are revolving in a elliptical path like this. So the maximum distance and the minimum distance we can write on as 1 plus E into A, where A is the semi major axis. Okay. And second one we can write on as R2 will be equals to minimum distance we can write on as, so actually this we can write on as 1 minus E by 1 minus E into A. Clear? Now, so the planet is moving around the Sun in elliptical orbit. So A we can calculate from here. So A will be equals to, A is the semi major axis. If you multiply both the values, A will be equals to R1 into R2. A value will be equals to R1 plus R2 by 2. R1 plus R2 by 2. Clear? And if you multiply this, R1 into R2 will be equals to 1 minus E square into A square. Okay. So A is the semi major axis. Now we can write down and E is the eccentricity of the ellipse. Okay. So they are asking the distance. So distance we can write down as, distance is given by, will be equals to B square by A. So B is the semi minor axis, it will be equals to A square 1 minus E square divided by A. Okay. It will be equals to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 by 2. So answer is 2 R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So actually this is known as what? Semi lattice rectum. So these are the properties of ellipse in mathematics. I hope you have seen this thing. Okay. Now the question number 2. Now the question number 2 is, the earth rotates faster than its present speed, the weight of an object will. So we know that due to rotation of earth, G dash is given by G minus omega square Re cos square theta. Okay. So as omega will increase, then we can say that at poles theta is 90 degree. So G dash will be equals to G. Okay. At equator theta is equals to 0 degree. So it will be G dash will be equals to G minus omega square Re. G minus omega square Re. Okay. So as you can see that the value of G at poles is not depending on omega. So it will remain as G only, same. But at equator it will decrease. So if you read the options, decrease at equator but remain unchanged at poles. So option number 1 is correct. Okay, for question number 2. Now question number 3. A body of mass m is placed on the earth's surface. It is taken from the earth's surface to a height 3r. The change in the gravitational potential energy of the body. So initially the object is on the earth. So U initially the object is on the earth. Okay. So U initial we can write on as minus G mass of earth into mass of particle by radius of earth. Okay. Radius of earth. Now when the particle is taken to the height of 3r, height is equals to 3r, then U final will be equals to minus G m into m by r plus h. So r plus h is 4r. Clear? So we can write down delta U will be equals to U final minus U initial, that is equals to minus G m into m by 4r Now this minus minus will become plus gm into m by r. Okay. So it will be equals to 3 by 4 gm into m by r. 3 by 4 gm into m by r. Okay. So this value we can write down as the value of g is given by small g, because answers are given in the terms of small g. Small g is gm by r square. Okay, where r is the radius of earth. So if you multiply by r and divide by r, so this will be equals to 3 by 4 m into g into r. 3 by 4 m g r. So option number 3 will match. Okay, directly formula based question. Now question number 4. So question number 4. A satellite is launched into circular orbit of radius r around the earth, while a second satellite is launched into an orbit of radius 1.02 r. The percentage difference in the time period of the two satellites is, okay. So we know that t square is proportional to r cube. As the difference is very small, we will use the error method. Okay, so we can add on as 2 delta t by t should be equals to 3 delta r by r. Okay. So the satellite is launched into a circular orbit of radius r around the earth in while a second satellite is launched into an orbit of radius 1.02 r. The percentage difference in the time period of the two satellites. Okay, so percentage difference in the time period delta t by t is equals to 3 by 2. Percentage change in r is the delta r by r will be equals to 0.02. Okay, so it will be equals to, so it is 0.03. Okay, if you calculate the percentage change, it will be equals to 3%. So the answer is 3%. Clear? Now the question number 5. So in question number 5, if the mass of question number 5, the pendulum clock is said to give correct time at sea level. This clock is moved to the hill station at the altitude of 2500 meter above the sea level. In order to keep the correct time of the hill station, the length of the pendulum clock, so we know that time period of pendulum clock is given by 2 pi under root of L by G. Okay. Now with respect to height, if the height will increase, we can say that G will decrease. Okay, G value will decrease, so G effective will be less. So for time period to be same, we can say that for T to be same, G is decrease, so L should also decrease. Okay, length we have to reduce. So which option will match? Option number 2. Okay. Now the question number 6. Mass of satellite is doubled and the time period remain constant. The ratio of orbit in the two cases will be. If the mass of satellite is doubled and the time period remain constant, the ratio of orbit. So we know that if you see the time period is independent of mass. Okay, and asking the ratio of the orbits in the two cases will be, so radius is actually independent of the mass of satellite. Okay, so the answer is, we can easily see this thing, radius is independent of mass, because mass will cancel out, like G mass of planet into mass of satellite divided by r square should be equals to m v naught square by r. So r will cancel, this one r will cancel out, mass of satellite will cancel out. So we can say that radius is independent of mass. Okay, so option is 1:1. So the answer is option number 3. Now we will move on to the question number 7. A body revolves around the sun 27 times faster than the earth. What is the ratio of their radii? Okay, a body revolves, so we know that t square is proportional to r cube, t square is proportional to r cube. Okay, so a body revolves around the sun 27 times faster than the earth. Okay, so I will consider t1 is the time period of earth, then t2 is equals to r1 cube by r2 cube. So if the t1 is t1 and t2 is 27 times faster, means it will be t1 by 27. t2 will be equals to t1 by 27. So it is t1 by 27 square. Okay. So in the place of this, I will write on it as t1 by 27 square should be equals to r1 cube by r2 cube. Okay. So you are asking the ratios of radii. So it will be equals to t1 square will cancel out. So it is 27 square should be equals to r1 cube by r2 cube. Okay. So if you take the cube root, if you take the cube root, it will be equals to cube root of 27 is 3 and 3 square will be 9. Okay. So we can say that r1 by r2 will be equals to 9:1. So if you see the options, option number 2 will match 9:1. Now the question number 8. So in question number 8, the magnitudes of gravitational force at a distance r1 and r2 from the center of a uniform sphere of radius capital R and the mass m are F1 and F2 respectively, then. So magnitude of gravitational force at a distance r1 and r2 from the center of uniform sphere of radius capital R. So see this uniform sphere of radius capital R. So solid sphere we have to consider. Okay, sphere means solid sphere. So distances r1 and r2 from the center of uniform sphere of radius capital R, the mass m and f1, the mass m and f1 and f2 are respectively, then. Okay, so see this thing. So at a distance r, if r1, we have to check from the options. Okay, if r1 is greater than r, if r1 is greater than r, we can say that force will be proportional to 1 by r square. If if r is greater than r, force is proportional to 1 by r square. If r is less than r, force will be proportional to r, because for any inside point for r less than r, gravitational field intensity is given by, gravitational field intensity is minus gm into r by r cube. For r greater than r, gravitational field intensity is minus gm by r square. Okay, so force means gravitational field intensity into that mass. So we can say that for r greater than r, force is proportional to 1 by r square. For r less than r, force is proportional to r. Now we will go by the options. So we can say that f1 by f2, if r1 is greater than r, if r1 is greater than r, we can say that f1 by f2 will be equals to r2 square by r1 square. Okay. And r2 is also greater than r, like this. So because force is inversely proportional to this. Okay. So first option is correct. But in first option, the first option is wrong, because they have given as r1 square by r2 square. It should be what? r2 square by r1 square. Now second option, if you check, this is first option. We have checked about first option. Now second one, if you check, we can say that if r1 is less than r and r2 is also less than r, then we can say that f1 by f2 will be equals to r1 by r2, because force is proportional to r. Okay. So second one is correct. If you see the answers, answer is given as question number 8, answer is given as fourth, both 1 and 2. So you can make the correction in the options. So option should be r2 square by r1 square, then both the options will be correct. Okay. Now the question number 9. a body weight W Newton at the surface of Earth. What is the weight at the height equals to half of the radius of Earth? Okay. So we know that at the surface of Earth, at surface, G is equals to G dash is equals to G. Okay. At height is equals to half of the radius. Okay. G dash we will be given by G by 1 plus H by R square. So it will be G divided by 1 plus H. H is R by 2 square. So it will cancel out. So it will be equals to 4G by 9. 4G by 9. Okay. So if the weight on the surface is W, then we can say that weight at the height H will be 4 by 9 times 4 by 9 times of W, because G dash is equals to G by 9. Okay. So it will be equals to 4 by 9 times of W. Now question number 10. So in question number 10, the distance between the center of Earth and Moon is 384,000 kilometer. If the mass of Earth is this, the speed of the Moon, we know that orbital speed is given by root of Gm by R. So distance is given already. So under root of G is 6.66 into 10 to the power minus 11. Mass of Earth is 6 into 10 to the power 24 R, and distance between the Earth and Moon is given as 384,000 kilometer. So this distance is given in kilometer, and mass is given in kgs. Okay. So V naught already we have taken in kilometers. Okay. So the answer will be, if you solve this for question number 10th, question number 10th, the value of G is Newton meter. So we have to consider here in meters. Okay. So if you, after solving this, the answer will be 1 kilometer per second. So kilometer per second. Okay. So for question number 10th, answer is 1 kilometer per second. Now question number 11th. So question number 11th. An object weighs 72 Newton on Earth. Its weight at a height R by 2 from the Earth is. Okay. So this question is similar to question number 9th. Already we got in question number 9th. Okay. So weight will be equals to 4 by 9 times of W. So it will be equals to 4 by 9 into 72, 32 Newton. So the answer is 32 Newton. Clear? Because in question number 9th also the height is given as half of the radius of Earth. Here also the height is given as half of the radius of Earth. So the answer is 32 Newton. Now question number 12. So for question number 12, suppose the gravitational force varies inversely as nth power of distance, then the time period of the planet in a circular orbit of radius capital R around the Sun will be proportional to. So suppose the gravitational force varies inversely as nth power of the distance. Okay. So if the gravitational force is varying inversely as nth power of distance, we know that whenever any particle is moving in a circular path, it requires a centripetal force. So that is given by m omega square r. So centripetal force is proportional to 1 by r to the power n. So 1 by r to the power n. Clear? So we can say that m into omega is 2 pi by t. So it will become 4 pi square by t square r proportional to 1 by r to the power n. Okay. So from this we can say that t square will be proportional to r to the power n plus 1. So t is proportional to n plus 1 by 2. So we check the options. Option number 3 will match. T is proportional to r to the power n plus 1 by 2. So the option number 3 is correct. Okay. Now question number 13th. two satellites A and B, ratio of the masses 3:1 are in circular orbits of radius r and 4r, then the ratio of total mechanical energy of A to B. Okay, we know that total mechanical energy is given by minus G total mechanical energy is given by minus G m into m by 2r. Okay, m into m by 2r. So where small m is the mass of satellite and capital M is the mass of planet. Okay, so mass of planet will remain same, so we can say that E is proportional to m by r. E is proportional to m by r. Okay, so we can say that EA by EB will be equals to MA by R A divided by MB by RB. So it will be equals to MA by MB into RB by RA. So what is the ratio of masses they have given? 3:1. 3:1 into RB by RA will be 4 by 4R by R. So it will cancel out. So it is 12:1. Okay. So for the question number 13, answer is 12:1. Now question number 14. For question number 14, the mean radius of the earth is r, its angular speed on its axis is omega, and the acceleration due to gravity on the surface is g. The cube of radius of the orbit of a geostationary satellite. So we know that orbital speed of the satellite is given by under root of gm by r. So we can add on it as root of g r square by r. In that format we can write down. Answers are given in the terms of small g. Okay. Orbital speed v naught we can add on as root of gm by r. It will be equals to root of g r square by r. Okay, multiply by r square and divide by r square. So gm by r square will become small g like this. Okay, so we can say that v naught will be equals to r into omega. So r cube will be equals to r square g by omega square. Okay, so for question number 14, option number 2 will match. Now we will move on to the question number 15. So for question number 15, at what depth below the surface of earth acceleration due to gravity g will be half its value 1600 km over the surface of earth. Okay, so for question number 15. So at depth g dash is given by g 1 minus d by r. Okay, at what depth from the surface of earth its acceleration due to gravity g will be half its value of the surface of earth. Okay, so actually what they have given, g at some depth is equals to half of the acceleration due to gravity at the height 1600 over the surface of earth. Okay, so this we can add on as g 1 minus d by r. It should be equals to 1 by 2 of g divided by 1 plus h. H is given as 1600 by r is 6400 square. It will cancel out. So it will be equals to g and g will cancel out. So we can say that 1 minus d by r is 6400 is equals to 1 by 2 into 4 and 5. So it will become 16 by 25. 16 by 25. Okay. So if you solve this value will be equals to 1 minus d by 6400 is equals to 8 by 25. Okay, so this we can add on as 1 minus 8 by 25 is equals to d by 6400. So it is 25 minus 8. So 25 minus 8 will be 17. So 17 by 25 into 6400 is equals to d. Okay. So you see the options for question number 15. The option number 2 will match, that is it will be equals to 4 into 10 to the power 6 meters. This value is in kilometers, so we have to convert into meters to get the answer. Okay, so it will be around 17 by 25 at the height h. The value of g is given by g by 1 plus r by, correct. So at the depth d, 1 by 2 of the height h. Okay, correct. Okay, so answer will be 6 into 10 to the power 6 meter. Now we will move on to the question number 17. So question number 16. The value of g is maximum at poles and minimum at equator. Okay, so we can say that g dash is given by g minus omega square re cos square theta. Okay, so we can say that at poles g dash is equals to g, at equator g dash is equals to g minus omega square re. So that is correct. The value of g is maximum at poles and minimum at equator. The value of g decrease with the increase in latitude. So yes, second one is also correct. The value of g will decrease as the latitude will. The value of g will decrease with the increase in latitude. So second one is also correct, but it is not the explanation of first one. Okay.